There is a moment in every champion's life when life pushes them so hard that the average person would break. But the difference between someone who settles and someone who rises is the quiet decision inside the soul that says, I will not stay down. This is the decision that separates greatness from potential, victory from almost, legacy from memory. It's the choice to stand back up even when your body aches, your heart is tired, and the voices around you whisper that you've already done enough. But deep within, there is a whisper louder than doubt, a whisper that says, not yet. There's more in you. When the world expects you to fall apart, refusing to stay down becomes a kind of power. It's not loud. It's not glamorous. It's not always seen by the crowd. But it is real. It is fierce. It is the moment when a person looks at their circumstances, the disappointment, the rejection, the failure, and instead of shrinking, they straighten their spine and rise anyway. What people forget is that the decision to rise is made long before the applause, long before the achievements, long before the spotlight. It's made in the dark, when no one is watching and no one is cheering. To refuse to stay down is to honor the part of yourself that knows you are capable of more. It is choosing strength over surrender, courage over comfort, and hope over fear. And this resilience doesn't come from never falling, it comes from falling so many times that you become familiar with the ground, but never comfortable with staying there. Every time life pushes you, you push back a little harder. Every time someone doubts you, you believe in yourself a little more. Every time something breaks your heart, you gather the pieces and rebuild something stronger. This kind of rising is not about perfection. It is not about winning every battle. It is about refusing to let the battle define you. It is knowing that your story cannot end in defeat unless you allow it to. It is understanding that setbacks aren't walls, they're detours, a redirection towards something greater, something deeper, something more aligned with who you are becoming. When you refuse to stay down, you show the world, and more importantly, yourself, that you are stronger than the moment trying to break you. You become proof that the human spirit can endure, overcome, and transform. And once you rise from something that was meant to destroy you, you carry a power that is unshakable. You walk differently. You speak differently. You believe differently. Because you know what it took to rise, and you know you can do it again. So if life has knocked you down, don't rush to stand up quickly, stand up intentionally. Stand up boldly. Stand up with the understanding that every rise makes you more unstoppable. The ground might be familiar, but the sky is still calling your name. And the world has yet to witness the strongest version of you, the version that refuses to stay down. When people talk about greatness, they often focus on talent, the gift someone was born with, the natural abilities that seem to set them apart. But what truly defines a person's rise is not the talent they carry in their hands, but the mentality they cultivate in their heart. Talent can open a door, but mentality decides whether you walk through it, stay there, or build something even greater. And the kind of mentality that elevates someone to extraordinary heights is not inherited, it is built through experiences, through challenges, through the quiet moments when no one else is there to cheer you on. There comes a point in life when you realize that the world doesn't reward potential, it rewards perseverance. You can be the most gifted person in the room, but if your mind is filled with doubt, fear, or hesitation, your talent stays locked inside you. The individuals who rise above the noise and reach levels others only dream of are the ones who choose to believe in themselves long before any evidence appears. They choose to train their minds with the same intensity they train their bodies. They choose discipline over distraction, growth over comfort, and vision over excuses. A powerful mentality begins with a simple belief, that you are capable of becoming more than what your circumstances suggest. It is the belief that even if you weren't born with every advantage, you can still build your own path brick by brick. This kind of inner strength is what turns ordinary days into stepping stones and obstacles into opportunities. Talent might get people to notice you, but mentality is what allows you to keep going long after the initial excitement has faded. You see, talent can make you impressive, but mentality makes you unstoppable. When you decide that nothing and no one can limit what you are capable of, you start operating from a different place. You begin to understand that pressure is not your enemy, it is your teacher. Criticism is not a wound, it is a mirror. Failure is not a dead end, it is a lesson. And suddenly, the world stops being a battlefield and becomes a classroom, a place where every challenge adds another layer of strength to who you are becoming. This mindset is not built overnight. It is shaped through the moments when you feel like giving up but choose to keep going. It is shaped through heartbreaks that taught you resilience and disappointments that taught you humility. It is shaped through every time you chose not to shrink yourself just to fit someone else's expectations. And once this mentality becomes part of you, life stops happening to you and starts happening for you. When a person develops a mindset that refuses to bend under pressure, that sees possibilities where others see limits, they become a force that cannot be denied. Their talent becomes sharper, their purpose becomes clearer, and their presence becomes stronger. Because talent may set the foundation, but mentality builds the empire. There is a certain kind of strength that only comes from being broken. A strength you don't discover in comfort, ease, or victory. It reveals itself in the moments when life hands you disappointment after disappointment, when plans collapse, when people you trusted walk away, when the path you were so sure about suddenly disappears under your feet. In those moments, you stand face to face with a truth most people never understand. A setback is not the end of your story, it is the birthplace of your comeback. Every great comeback begins in a place of pain. Not because the pain is desirable, but because it wakes something up inside you. Something deeper, something stronger, something that was sleeping beneath the surface. You start to realize that the things that hurt you are also shaping you. The disappointments that shook your world are quietly building your character. The failures that embarrassed you are chiseling away the parts of you that were never meant to stay. When you're willing to see beyond the wound, you discover that the setback wasn't there to stop you, it was there to prepare you. There is a moment in every person's journey when life whispers, "This is where it ends." But that is the exact moment when you must answer, "No, this is where I rise." That shift in perspective turns weakness into wisdom and struggle into strength. You begin to understand that the power isn't in avoiding setbacks, it's in transforming them. It's in turning every no into a new direction, every closed door into a new path, every heartbreak into a new beginning. A comeback isn't loud at first. It doesn't announce itself with crowds or applause. It begins quietly, in your decision to try again. In your courage to hope again. In your willingness to believe that better is still possible even when you can't see it yet. Every small step forward, every breath you take after you thought you were done, every moment you choose to stand instead of crumble, that is the foundation of your comeback being built stone by stone. And when the comeback finally arrives, people see the strength, the growth, the confidence, but they don't see the nights you spent holding yourself together. They don't see the tears you wiped alone. They don't see the battles you fought in silence. But those invisible battles are the very reason your comeback is powerful. They are the reason you now walk with a certainty you didn't have before. Because once you rise from something that tried to break you, you stop fearing the fall. Your setback may feel heavy today, but it is not final. It is shaping you, stretching you, and preparing you for something greater. One day you will look back and realize that what felt like the end was actually the beginning of a version of you that is stronger, wiser, and more unshakable than ever before. And that will be the moment your comeback becomes louder than anything that tried to defeat you. Consistency is the quiet force that separates those who dream from those who achieve. Talent can ignite a spark, and passion can light a fire, but without consistency, even the brightest flames flicker and fade. True greatness is not built in moments of inspiration, it is forged in the daily choices, the repeated actions, and the unglamorous work that nobody sees. It's the discipline to show up when motivation is low, the courage to persist when results are slow, and the humility to do the small things that compound over time. When someone is consistent, they create momentum. They turn ordinary habits into extraordinary results. Every repetition, every effort, every commitment to improvement adds layer upon layer, building a foundation so strong that challenges cannot shake it. Consistency is not flashy, but it is unstoppable. It doesn't care if you're tired, if the world doubts you, or if recognition hasn't arrived yet. It simply keeps moving forward because it knows that greatness is not a moment, it is a process. The most dangerous version of a person is not the one who occasionally performs miracles, it is the one who performs them consistently. This is the version that others begin to notice, not because of luck, but because of relentless dedication. It is the version that, day after day, pushes boundaries, surpasses expectations, and silently outworks everyone around them. And in that quiet, steady effort, something incredible happens. Habits become identity, and identity becomes destiny. Consistency also builds confidence. Each day you show up for yourself, each day you honor your commitments, you prove to yourself that you are reliable, capable, and resilient. You begin to trust your own effort, your own discipline, and your own ability to overcome obstacles. The moments that once seemed impossible now feel achievable because you have built a track record of showing up, no matter what. The beauty of consistency is that it multiplies over time. Small actions, repeated with focus, accumulate into results that can astonish the world. What feels insignificant in the moment, an extra hour of practice, a few more repetitions, a quiet sacrifice, becomes monumental in the long run. Consistency transforms potential into excellence, effort into mastery, and dreams into reality. To be consistent is to be dangerous in the best way. It is to become unstoppable, predictable in your persistence, and relentless in your pursuit of growth. It is not about perfection or speed, it is about commitment. It is about waking up every day and choosing to move forward, even when the world whispers that it is unnecessary, even when no one is watching, and even when the path seems long. Because in consistency, greatness is not an accident, it is inevitable. Belief in yourself is the cornerstone of all achievement. It is the silent, unshakable conviction that you are capable of more than circumstances, opinions, or setbacks would have you believe. Self-belief is not about arrogance or thinking you are flawless, it is about trusting the process, trusting your effort, and trusting the potential that resides within you. It is the quiet assurance that no matter how many times life says, no, you have the power to say, yes, to yourself, to your dreams, your purpose, and your future. Many people wait for permission to step into their greatness. They wait for opportunities, validation, or affirmation from the world. But the truth is, no one can grant you permission to become extraordinary. That power already lives inside of you. When you cultivate self-belief, you stop waiting for the world to recognize your value, and you start acting as if the world already sees it. You carry yourself with a confidence that cannot be shaken because it is not dependent on applause, recognition, or temporary success. Belief in yourself also gives you resilience. When obstacles appear, when failure knocks on your door, or when doubt creeps into your mind, your self-belief becomes the anchor that keeps you steady. You no longer crumble at criticism or stumble at setbacks. Instead, you face them with the quiet strength that says, I know who I am. I know what I am capable of. I will not be deterred. This kind of inner faith turns challenges into stepping stones, moments of rejection into lessons, and every no into preparation for the right yes. The most dangerous version of a person is one who believes in themselves fiercely and consistently. That belief fuels action. It transforms fear into courage, hesitation into decisiveness, and doubt into determination. When you truly believe in yourself, you stop comparing your journey to others, stop shrinking to fit expectations, and stop letting past failures define you. You start walking in the fullness of your potential with clarity and focus, knowing that your purpose is not negotiable. Self-belief also inspires those around you. People are drawn to those who carry themselves with quiet confidence and unwavering faith in their abilities. Your belief in yourself becomes contagious, creating a ripple effect that elevates everyone who crosses your path. You become proof that greatness is not about luck or privilege, it is about trusting yourself enough to take the steps no one else is willing to take. Ultimately, self-belief is the decision to claim your own power. It is the commitment to rise every time you fall, to pursue your vision with relentless focus, and to refuse to let doubt or fear define your path. The moment you truly believe in yourself, the world begins to bend toward your purpose, and nothing can stop the unstoppable version of you from emerging.